Hi friends, I wanted to show you something that I discovered a couple years ago, which has been a real game changer for me personally. Um, the brand name of this one is Easy Stacks. It's just a clear plastic tray, um, which which is meant for either organizing papers, like you could stack papers and then you put another one on top of it. This one's covered in clay remnants, but they stack, like you could put some papers on here and put that, or also they are meant for like folding t-shirts and stacking them on each other. Uh, as some of you recall, a couple of years ago, I had to leave doing polymer clay full time and take another job, and my employer was moving states and offered me a bunch of things they weren't taking with them, and a bunch of these, well, a lot more than this, I've got them all over the place, was among that. And I thought, that looks interesting, I might be able to use that for polymer clay. And it turns out it works out very, very well. I do a lot of blends. So I've got a glass worktop here, a nice big glass table. So you can see underneath there's a tray, which I can stack things on. And I just make up a bunch of blends because I don't work with color formulas for the most part. I take my scraps, my scraps, my scraps, many, many scraps, and mix them with, my new blocks of clay to make blends. These are gray, because don't we all have so much gray? This one's a lot of different colors. And then I've got one specifically for black, because when I'm going to do a cane series, I like to just mix up all the clay ahead of time, all the clay and then more. And then there's white under here. I don't know how well you can see that. The great thing about working on a glass tabletop is, you don't have to worry about little cuts and whatnot. The one downside is you do get a lot of film you've got to wipe away every so often, but that's okay. I love having a glass tabletop to work on. Any case, back to the Easy Stacks. So this is how they come originally. I stack the clay on them. You do get, I probably, depending on what kind of clay you work with, as most of you know, I work with a blend of Kato and Primo, sometimes a little Fimo mixed in there. I do get some film on top of the Easy Stacks, which is, it's fine. So here's kind of a clump that's stuck. Pardon my fingernails and whatnot. I'm an artist. I've got artist hands. Anyway, so the first thing I always do is just take, either a ball of scrap or whatever's kind of big chunks left over, and see there, try to get up as much as I can, because we got to remember we're working with a plastic. First of all, polymer clay isn't cheap, so let's, reclaim as much of it as we can. And secondly, clay kind of lasts forever. Not forever, but you know what I mean. Like we don't want to put this into the trash if we could use it instead. So I just kind of drag it across the surface and try to get, the most of it that I can up to reuse. But eventually you're going to end up with this film. And as with the ones I showed you under here, I try to keep with the same colors for the most part. Like these black ones, I'm just going to keep using them for black clay, so I don't have to, keep reclaiming the clay that's stuck to it. But, there'll be times when you have to clean this off, and after you get the bigger pieces off, as much as you can use, and you've just got this film left. I just take a Kleenex, and this is a well-used one. I will continue to use this, fold it over, and just rub this on here. I'll continue to use this Kleenex until I can't anymore. I'm really about making the most of the resources that I have. I'm trying to be a little eco about it, even though I'm working with plastic. And then you can just reuse these forever. I can't vouch for every brand of this type of stackable, whatever you would call this, shelf. But this particular brand is working great. Easy Stacks. It doesn't, interact negatively with the clay. So I just wanted to tell you guys about that in case it helps anyone else. I know everybody doesn't work with the proportions of clay that I do, but surely this has to be an issue, like storing pre-made blends has to be an issue for more people than me. So just wanted to let you know about that. All right. Have a great day, Claire's.